Ace and Sabo are a couple of goats in One Piece. The post-war ASL flashback was the first and last time we get to see the relationship between these three brothers flourish, and it was beautiful. Sabo was the kind older brother that went easy on Luffy. Ace was definitely harder on him, but you can still feel the love, of course. And then Luffy was just a freak of nature. The Great Terminal flashback is still top 5 to this day. Now that we're like ankle deep into the final saga though, I can still hands down say that Ace is a better character than Sabo. And TBH, I don't even know if that's really a controversial thing to say. Sabo's still a cool guy, and his current motivations are objectively more noble than Ace's were, but Ace is still a more interesting character in every single way. Peep game! When I was a wee lad, Sabo's reintroduction to the story in Dressrosa was some of the most hype ever. Luffy's older brother, who we thought got boomed, is actually still alive. We lit! But in hindsight, it's kind of crazy that we basically just got Ace 2.0. Luffy lost his older brother with fire powers, and then we get reintroduced to his other older brother, who now has those same fire powers. Sabo eating Ace's devil fruit meant a lot to him, of course, but I feel like it would have hit more if it didn't happen during the exact same arc he came back in. Side note, imagine that AU where Frankie eats the fruit instead. Flaming Logie as Cyborg would go crazy. Although Frankie don't really need that devil fruit, but it would still be fire, literally. Or like any of the other Straw Hats. Usopp with a flaming Logia devil fruit, he don't even need Kabuto anymore. He's sniping with his damn hands. But also, I think Usopp also don't need a devil fruit. I think most of the Straw Hats don't need a devil fruit. I think it would be really cool if Nami had one, but she also don't need a devil fruit. You feel me? But that would be cool. What Sabo's got going on in the current story is way more interesting than Dressrosa though. This whole Flame Emperor epithet he accidentally adopted sounds hard as f, and the fact that he's on par with Dragon, if not more famous than him to certain people, says a lot about the difference in how these two operate as revolutionaries. And this isn't Dragon hate, but it simply is a fact that these two operate very differently as revolutionaries, which isn't a bad thing on Dragon's part. Look, I'm not no Dragon hater. Like, there's a reason why Oda's been saving such an important character for this long in the story. There's a reason why. Sabo's a go-getter who's gonna get his hands dirty and liberate these countries on foot, while Dragon's the literal foundation of this entire operation, so a lot of what he has going on now is in the back end. But when I think of the title Flame Emperor, all I can see is my glorious king, Fire Fist Ace! In some crazy alternate universe where Ace is the main character, the way that they call Luffy an emperor now, they would have been calling Ace the Flame Emperor of the Spade Pirates, and the Spade Pirates would have gone on to become a whole empire or some shit. I don't know. But actually, no. Imagine Ace lived at the end of Marineford and he became the captain of the Whitebeard Pirates after Whitebeard got boomed, and then he still becomes the Flame Emperor. That shit would be crazy, but that sounds like some fan fiction, I'm not gonna lie. I think Ace was doomed from jump, but we're not there yet. Hold on. One of the biggest reasons I put Ace over Sabo as a character is due to Ace's flaws. I feel like Ace is an infinitely more layered person than Sabo. Growing up in the shadow of the literal most famous person on the face of the planet is a setup for all type of inferiority complexes, super loneliness, etc, etc. Harold and Odin's flashbacks showed Roger as a super fun, free-spirited, cool-ass guy who lives for the calling of the sea, right? But from Ace's POV, he literally set this up for failure. Roger was talking heavy on Ace, hyping him up crazy years before he was even conceived, years before he even met Rouge. He didn't even know who Rouge was, and he was talking crazy on Ace. He said,
my son, he gonna be like that. Better than me, times a million. Yes, my kid, yes.
And his really was like, Roger, you don't even have a son. What are you talking about? Also, it's kind of funny that Roger named his kid after his sword. Like, this is truly a pirate's pirate. I mean, look at it though. This is like top 10 most beautiful blades in One Piece, and there are some pretty ass swords in this series. But hands down, the prettiest blade in this whole series, hands down, has got to be I no Abakiri. You feel me? This beautiful nigga. Hold on. If I didn't have this mic right now, I'd be yo, the next time we see Momo in the story, that better be nice with this or not. You know what? No pressure on Momo. He's still legit. He's still a kid. But the sword pretty. The sword is beautiful is all I'm saying. And so is Ace. But Ace ain't no Ame no Habakiri. I'm sorry, Ace, but that blade is not no Ame no Habakiri. You really can't blame Ace for taking his mother's name though. She literally held him in her womb for an extra 11 months on top of the initial 9 to protect him. Golly. The world government was literally booming pregnant women to try to destroy Roger's lineage. That type of evil is something you would wish is only possible in fiction. Whole time it's happening in real life too. Well, we don't really know a whole lot about Rouge, but holy hell is she a warrior for this, dog. Shout out Pork Guys D Rouge the GOAT. She really is an unsung hero, and she gave Ace his legendary beautiful ass freckles too. Ace is a very emotional person, and I think that's one of my favorite parts about him. It also literally is what got him killed, but of course he's gonna stand up for his dad when somebody talking Roger was always a sore spot for Ace, and Whitebeard is a man he truly respects as a father, which is a little ironic because Whitebeard had nothing but respect for Roger. People love to give Ace shit for how he handled that situation, but imagine being in his shoes from birth and then hearing that. Yes, he fell for the rage bait, but you can't blame him, bruh. And also, is it really rage bait if the person who said it believes what they're saying wholeheartedly? Akainu is just a very insidious, venomous, hateful person. He's a hateful nigga. But dude, Ace's final words were literally,
Thank you for loving me, dog.
that shit is heartbreaking. His emotions getting the best of him are also why he started chasing after Blackbeard, which also indirectly led to his demise too. Like, if you go through all of Ace's backstory, everything he went through, and then see him on Marineford, and the only conclusion that you come up with is that he's a fraud, I don't know what to tell you, dog. I simply don't know what to tell you. Ace is probably the most posthumously gassed character in all of shonen, cause like 85% of the cool stuff we see out of him is from flashbacks after his death. He was cool while he was alive, but that was mainly cause he was Luffy's older brother with cool ass fire powers. He's also kind of goofy and also looks cool as hell. But after his death, we get a lot more Ace in different flashbacks and things like that. Ace was doing all type of everything as a pirate while Luffy was training in the mountains. That 3-year head start was insane for him. If Luffy and Ace left and became pirates at the same time, it would have been GG's for Luffy. Ace was a pirate captain, shout out to Spade Pirates, ate an insane Logia, boxed Jinbei and won, kinda, met Shanks, killed a warlord, got offered that same warlord's title, fought Whitebeard, joined Whitebeard, and became a 2nd Division commander on that crew. This resume is insane. Also, holy world building. The warlord that Ace killed, or maybe defeated, I'm pretty sure he killed that nigga though, is Hanafuda, Ulti and Page 1's dad, who also happened to be cool with Kaido. Ace made Ulti and Page 1 orphans. Like, bro, this world is alive and it's breathing, bro. This is Hall of Fame world building off of Oda, bro. Oh my goodness. And it's revealed through an SBS. Granted, I can't even be mad. Like, I'm sure there was no time in the story, like, to reveal this, but like, we could have had a quick little glimpse of Ace beating Hanafuda or something, you know what I'm saying? Something look cool as hell, look cool as shit. Ace going head to head with Jinbei is always gonna be crazy to me, cause this was a textbook Pokemon type advantage on Jinbei's part. But Ace is truly like that. Ace and Yamato's relationship is truly something special though. Yamato may have found salvation in Odin, but Ace was his first real friend. Watching these two box and then proceed to get drunk and tell fun stories was so wholesome, dog. This is also easily my favorite ship in the whole series too. Also, super duper side note, but what happened to the Spade Pirates? Like, I'm assuming they just got absorbed into the Whitebeard Pirates, but like, we never see those again. Where did those go? Ace's first mate especially was so fire, bruh. Masked Deuce. Oda will just like draw the coolest character ever and then we'll never see them again. And it's like, dog, he just wore a domino mask for the love of the game. That's tough. But Yamato's reaction to Ace's death low-key hits just as, if not harder than Luffy's reaction too. The hopelessness in his eyes as he watched the Beaver card of his only friend burn, dog. My heart is in pieces, gang. Ace was also his only way off Onigashima too. So now it's like doom and gloom times a million. Only friend is gone and you're stuck forever. Free him. Well, I guess he is now, but like, damn, bruh. It's like everybody in Ace's life felt like there was nothing they could do to save him, which is especially gut-wrenching because ever since he was a child, all he ever wanted was love. When I look at all of this, there's just no way I can view Sabo in the same way, which I guess isn't really the point of Sabo. Sabo got his own past and his own struggles, especially with growing up as a noble and seeing firsthand how the f***ery of the ultra-rich impacts the lower class. Dragon saving Sabo's life changed his entire path forever. There's an AU where Sabo successfully set sail and became a pirate, but as a child that young, I don't even think he would have made it to Reverse Mountain. Not gonna lie, he would not have met Laboon. As we seen with Ace, Luffy's brothers do not got the same plot armor he does. They do not. What rubs me the wrong way about Sabo's character is that on a surface level, it feels like he's a replacement for Ace in post-time skip, but in the actual context of the story, he's not really that at all. This Sabo got going on with Emu, Lelouchia, and the revolutionaries would have never happened to Ace if he was still alive. That's just not Ace's mission in the slightest. In fact, if Ace lived and he stayed with the Whitebeard Pirates, the payback war would have gone the same way and Ace might have been fried then too, you know? As long as Ace is chasing Blackbeard, his fate is sealed, is what I think. The only nigga that's gonna take Blackbeard down is Monkey D. Luffy, dead ass. If Red Hair Shanks couldn't do it, nobody else in this story can but Monkey D. Luffy. I'm telling you, what Katarina Devon say, teach is special. Now we know why. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? I low-key do sort of have mixed feelings about the amnesia thing, but it does ultimately make sense. This kid took an explosion straight to the face, or something like that. I feel like Ace just generally has way more of a personality than Sabo too. But also, Sabo was like damn near raised by dragons, so I guess it makes sense that some of that stoic nature rubbed off on him too. Luffy, Ace, and Garp just have a lot more shared gags that Sabo's kind of kind of left out of. Like the insane narcoleptic tendencies, although they kind of stopped doing that gag as much. Also, shout out Melon T, the GOAT. Easily one of my favorite, if not my favorite creator on the One Piece side of YouTube. I cannot wait for her to do a Sabo video because I want to see just how deep of a dive could be done on Sabo. But Melon T's videos are very much, let's break this character down on a skeleton level, metaphorically speaking, and let's really see who this character is and why they are the way they are. That would be fire. Her Ace video was Hall of Fame. I just love the One Piece community on YouTube especially so much. Ace is hands down winning a fit for fit between him and Sabo too. Ace got the titties out, cowboy hat with the beads, tatted up. He clean. He also got a knife on his hip just for the fashion. You know he not using that shit. I do like that Sabo is a revolutionary that dresses fancy as f though. It's a fun little oxymoron. But Ace got the black variant with the coat too. Oh my goodness, he too tough. I do think it's funny that visually Ace looks a lot more like Luffy, and then you look at Sabo grown up and his face is literally what if Luffy was blonde and had a middle part. Sabo and Luffy got these same eyes, like they are brothers. Like none of them are biologically related by blood, but you wouldn't be able to tell, minus the blonde hair. Sabo and Luffy got the same face, bruh. I think it's kind of cool. I also really like that in modern times, Roger looks just like Ace in the face and the hair too. Odin's flashback and this current one is like, holy, you are Ace's like dad for real. Like you're actually Ace's dad for real. In Odin's flashback especially, it was literally, here's Ace without freckles and like 20 years older. Like I don't know why, but that just feels heartwarming to me. I don't know, bro. This look like his pops, bro. That's cool. I don't think he would appreciate that though, but you know, I do. Ace is a character I really don't think I started appreciating until fairly recently in the story, I'm not gonna lie. Watching Ace's flashback with Yamato and Tama just made me really want an anime adaptation of his cover story 1 and also his actual spin-off series. They gave Ace a spin-off and it's not animated yet. Give it to Megami Ishitani, I don't give a f. Give it to Ishitani, we gonna get Hall of Fame peak. But yeah, shout out Ace and Sabo and shout out you.
I can't feel my face right now, I'm burning up. I got this feeling that I won't come down.